Good evening. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Wednesday, and we're sitting here on the 18th of May, 2022, washout day. You know, I woke up early this morning, and I wake up a lot earlier than most of you, at 4 in the morning, typically, and I'm at my desk at about 4:45 at the latest, and I'm working pretty hard at that point because I'm going to start recording at 5:30. And I'm looking at, all of a sudden, at target earnings, and I'm going, uh-oh. Before you know it, it's down 21%, and I'm going, this combined with Walmart's probably going to feed on Walmart when that opens, and that's exactly what happened. Now you got today Kohl's. So Kohl's was down 11% during the day. After the market, two of its key executives announced their departure. Market fell another 4%, and guess what's tomorrow in Kohl's? Earnings. Can't be good, right? They're running before the numbers come out. They're going to be thrown out anyway, so might as well just get out of town. I spent the better part of the afternoon writing a full research report for my people that buy my research and get the full research reports that I put out, which includes Monday through Friday, 2 written ones, Sunday night, 1 written one as well. So, and 1 on Friday morning. I don't write one for Friday night. I do it Sunday because it gives me a chance to see the whole market. And I talk about inflation at great length as to what it is, what's the Fed doing. I'm not going to give you the summary here. I'm going to give you parts of it, okay? If you saw what Fed Chair Powell said yesterday at the Wall Street Journal Symposium, it was in my written research, all the highlights. This is the most hawkish I have ever seen the man since he's been Fed chair. And he made it ultra clear. Nothing's going to deter him from the Fed getting ahead of inflation. Nothing. And that means, I think he's sorry he said the 75 basis point cuts were off the table. He doesn't like to backtrack because it takes away his credibility. But I think if he had the moment to do over, you'd get a 50 basis point cut now, and in July, just about inevitably, you'd get another one of 75 points. You're going to get 250 points back to back because there's nothing on this to do it. The Fed doesn't care if the stock market falls. You do understand that. The stock market falling is a sign that the Fed's job is being done by the marketplace. The Fed wants demand out of the market. If you take away demand, you take away inflation. If you don't get that, go back to your econ. It's simple. If you don't have a buyer, I don't care what your price is, it's too high. Pretty simple. And we're seeing in stores for discretionary spending, in Walmart's, in Target's, obviously in Kohl's, that this is in fact the case. Where their spending is to fix their home up because they're not going out. They're sending you a signal. They're going to keep doing their home projects. It's too expensive out there. They're going to make their things at home even better, and that's why Home Depot raised its forecast. I know this doesn't, I know I don't have the doctorate that would get me into a JP Morgan, but I have a doctorate in common sense. And that does it. And I've seen what it is. So when you're trying to tell me a Cisco and all these other companies, Apple, are going to hold up, they're not going to hold up. They're going to come down. That doesn't mean that their products aren't great products. It doesn't mean that they won't have value. They will. Nothing went away with that. But the PE ratios are too high. And that, at the end of the day, is it. And they don't have the demand right now. Why? Companies feel the pinch from labor. They can't pass on the product hikes. What was today telling you at these mainstream retailers? They don't have the pricing power. Do you understand that? If those goods that aren't being bought were a lot cheaper, the consumer might buy them. But at the current price, they're too high. Why are used car prices falling going into spring, summer? The consumer's running out of cash. And a smart consumer, and I think I'm a real smart consumer, looks at it and says, you know, I can repair my car. I'm not paying that crazy price for a used car that 2 years from now I'm going to take a beating on. And I can't go to a dealer and get the car I want because they want to charge me full boat for it, which it isn't worth. A year from now, I'll get a discount probably. I want all those features, but I can do without it. Now, if you have to have the car, you're going to buy the car. But if you have a choice of spending X dollars to fix yours up, make it look great, do whatever, why not do that? Does it matter if it doesn't have every bell and whistle and your side windows don't beep for you? Get serious. For a person that their whole life is their car, you're different. I get it. You're driving your 50,000, 70,000 miles a year. I get it. But for the guy like us that live in cities that are driving a couple of thousand miles a year, oh, come on with you. I guess maybe my problem is I don't live in LA where your car is who you are to a degree, right? I mean, come on. Okay, so SoFi, to my amazement, it's up today. Outside day up. So until today's low is taken out, it sent out a signal that it's in pretty good shape and it wants to move higher. Take out today's low on Thursday or Friday, I change my picture on that. Where might it be going? Well, if it can't go there, could it be up at 1021? That's a pretty big number. Where's that Bollinger Band? Ah, that's where it went to, and that's the battleground. The number is 747. I seriously doubt you're just getting up there. You've got a bull signal, but you've already hit a target. My advice with an overbought market, be very careful. I don't know that you got a lot in it. AMC has rallied back. I expected this. I expected this back here. I made that clear. I said, summer's here. I've owned a movie theater. I have had the bad experience of owning one. I had to turn it over, get rid of it. It was a losing investment. Okay, I kept it for years though. I know what it is. I know the business as an investor looking at the books almost every other day. So I learned the business, all right? Has the business changed since I did that? I'll give you a secret. No. You still, in fact, it's worse because now you're fighting with the studios for what's streaming at home and what you've got. You got to charge more of a ticket price. The people are still, you're going to make your money off the concession because the movie houses take a gross percentage from you. So if a ticket is, say, let's assume a ticket's $15. Okay, they might take on a blockbuster 60, 70% of that 15. Yes, learn the business. It's out there. You can find it on the internet. And they might do that for a couple of weeks. Then by the time they give you a bigger percentage, your main client is gone and you made only that, what you got on the concession. I'm giving you that number. I remember paying 75%. Okay, so I know what I say on that. And the game didn't change that much. But they will get a bounce. It's not a good business. In Apple's in trouble here. Apple, simply put, has lost the ability to get the units they needed to make the sales because of China, not because of their product. They lost that. Now, they've got a guy like me that needs a phone. I dropped my phone the other day, so I broke the screen. So I'm sitting here and I'm going to myself, should I go get the screen fixed? I think I can afford it. Or do I just wait for the 14? So I'm waiting for the 14. How many of you are doing the same thing like I am? So are you going to buy that 13 model right now? I don't think so. Remember that girl that's on the Verizon? She's really cute, young girl. Oh, concert tickets. Oh, that's what this is. And that's what's hurting them there. Cisco getting hit the same way tonight. Disney, the inflation story's hurting them. This market's a good market. I'll bet you that the attendance is a monster at their theme parks this year. Families are going to go there. You know, I wish we could all go abroad and enjoy the low euro, but that's an airplane trip on top of all the expenses. Families will do the American theme parks, and I think you're going to have a monster business this year, but you're still not in an uptrend, nor are you in the financial services area. You're in a market that's still got a lot of problems under the 18-day average, not trending, but also not a buy. XLI, the industrial sector, when it got to the 18-day average, all I've been telling you is I think the market's going to fail there each time. You had an oversold market, you rallied, ran into it, and boom. You just haven't yet turned these corners. And you might not yet, all right? We saw, I'm going to repeat this, the impact of higher prices. It's turned off the buyers at Target, Walmart, and probably Kohl's and a host of others. It doesn't change in business. They'll buy in the industrial sector to do something, but the guy out there is going to say, do I really need that tractor right now? You got all the stories. Got what I'm saying? Semiconductors, as much as I like them and they're trying to be good, they just can't get themselves going. The last break low in this market was 169.18, and today you knocked on the door of that. If you reopen through it, you again take away the ability to run. The market it said it doesn't really want to stay down here, but it's not able to go anywhere. And often, what do I tell you? Markets go to the 18-day average, the red line on the chart, to make decisions. That's what's going on there. In the home builders, if you watch these numbers that we're getting, today you saw that, the home building numbers, they were only down 0.2. They were looking for a big decline, way more than that, 10 times more than that. But then the number that you have to be bothered with is the permits. We're not pulling the permits. Well, if I'm a home builder, I'm looking right now, who's your target market? It's going to be a guy in all cash. It's not going to be the middle-class guy. You need a guy that's got money to buy the more expensive, the $1 million, $2 million, $3 million home that doesn't need a mortgage, honestly. So you're seeing the permits pull back. You don't have to agree with me, but the logic is there right now. And yes, people need the homes, but they got to get affordable. XLE, up to the upper band. I've been looking for a pullback here. Am I bearish? Not in your wildest dream. But I'm also watching an overbought market that's at a Bollinger Band. You can get setbacks here. Let's see how the market responds. Can it get back to the 18-day average? Maybe. In gold, it just doesn't respond to Ukraine. It doesn't respond to inflation pressures. And now it's got serious headwinds. It's got the headwind called the Powell wind. Woo! Woo! Fed Chair Powell wind going through because he's their headwind. Every time you think you're okay, they're going to raise interest rates. They're going to crush demand. They're going to take inflation down to where they can live with it, whatever that number is. It's not going back to 2% right away. That's nonsense. They could have a target all they want. How many times has the Fed set a target and never hits it? You know that. 4%, probably realistic. GDX, same thing in the miners. If gold's no good, do I want to own the miners? Yeah, let me think about that. I don't think so. Copper, I like copper. Why? Because China's coming alive. And China can only do so much infrastructure. You know that. They keep saying they're going to build, they're going to build, they're going to build. Where are they going to get all these laborers to build all these things they're talking about? It's not the country of our grandparents where there's all these people, low-cost people, that are going to come out and take those jobs. The country has grown up. They're not a Philippines. They're not Thailand. They're not other countries like that. They're becoming richer, and richer requires finding the labor at a certain cost to not kill your economy. You don't hear enough talk about that, and we should. TLT, you can see how the market's playing here. But rallies, I love when they happen for somebody else. I want the Fed at my back, which means I'm looking for the sell signals in the market, not the buy signals. And in the dollar, I like the dollar. It got ahead of itself. When it loses an embedded reading, watch. You don't want to be long. It's going back to the 18-day average, and it has to regroup. That's simple. That's what I teach. That's what I believe. And I'll cap it off with this one. Here's the FXE. You lose the embedded reading. Same thing. I'm not bullish the euro by any stretch. They're going to raise interest rates right away on you, by the way. Will that hurt their economy, or will it strengthen the euro? There's going to be a battle, a big battle about talking about that. And we'll join in it at Linn because we write about this. Now, let me tell you something that you may not know. We sell our research, but it's about $500 a year to get the Linn research. I give it away free with each one of my subscriptions. We want your brokerage business too. But in order to prove ourselves, because we can work out brokerage numbers that I think you'll like a lot, but you tie this together, you get a heck of a package. We write on all the markets you see behind me with years upon years of experience. And if you're looking at this, understand, if you're a spider, ETF trader, stock trader, you think you're not trading what we're writing about? What do you think DIA, SPY, IWM, they're all based on the futures markets. They're not based on the individual stocks. The futures look at the stocks. Those particular vehicles look at what the futures are doing, and they're based on it. That's what they're buying all day long. Those particular markets. Learn about it. Read about it. It's easy. It's right up your alley. So how do you get this? Well, just go to our website. Follow where it says education, number 1, research, number 2, number 3, free offers. You can see it all there. Or click right here and we'll take you right to it. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day. See you tomorrow.